Welcome to Politicking. I'm Larry King. Nearly 15 months after he announced his run for the Oval Office, with 61 days left in the general election, and fresh off the heels of last night's Commander-in-Chief Forum in New York, Donald Trump, the Republican presidential nominee, joins me for a one-on-one. Just for the record, Donald and I go back well over 30 years. I consider him a good friend. Donald, one quick thing. What surprised you the most about running for office?
Well, I think the dishonesty of the media. The media has been unbelievably dishonest. I mean, they'll take a statement that you make, which is perfect, and they'll cut it up and chop it up and shorten it or lengthen it or do something with it, and all of a sudden it doesn't look as good as it did when you actually said it. But there's tremendous dishonesty with the media. Not all of it, obviously, but tremendous dishonesty.
And that surprised you?
Yeah, to the extent it surprised me. I mean, I knew that would happen, but I never thought to this extent.
The Libertarian candidate this morning made a mistake by not knowing where Aleppo or what Aleppo is. If that significantly hurts him, are you going to appeal to his people to get that vote?
Well, I don't know that it will hurt him that much, frankly. But, you know, he didn't know that. I saw that. And, you know, maybe it'll hurt him a little bit. But I think he'll scoot by. Look, it's not too much of a factor. They seem to be going down. The other two, they seem to be going down a little bit. We'll see what happens. Would
you want him on the debate or not?
No, I don't. I'd rather be Hillary and myself, because we're the only two with a chance of winning.
You said that you've got a plan on ISIS, and you don't want to reveal it because you don't want the enemy to know. Nixon said the same thing about Vietnam, but there really was no significant plan. Can you give us any hint about it? Is it?
Well, I have a very strong idea as what I want to do. But, you know, Larry, I'm tired of watching these people get up, these politicians, and tell the enemy exactly what we're going to do, when we're going to be there, when we're going to leave. Like the way we left Iraq, what a disaster that was. We had that timetable, and it was a disaster. And, you know, I don't like talking about it. I'll be honest with you. And I'll meet with generals and the generals, and we'll find out. Look, we've been fighting this war for 15 years. This war's gone on forever, you know, the whole Middle East thing. And we've spent, now there's a report, $6 trillion. $6 trillion. We could have rebuilt our country twice. $6 trillion on that war. We've got, and we're in far worse shape than if we never went over there. Far worse. Not even a contest.
Well, there may not have been
a very sad situation. And no, I don't like to reveal. You know, I have a very good chance of winning. And honestly, I don't want to have to tell the enemy, you know, in order to get 2 extra votes, exactly what my plan is, when we're going in, what we're going to do. No, I have a very distinct plan. And always subject to change, of course. You have to have flexibility, but I have a very distinct plan.
Many think there would be no ISIS had we not gone into Iraq.
Well, look, you know, Hillary Clinton, with her policies, and Barack Obama, you know, look, we should have never gone into Iraq, okay, period.
And that was Bush.
Never gone in. But once we went in, Larry, we shouldn't have gotten out the way we got out. And the way they got out really caused ISIS, if you think about it.
But we got out.
They got out in such a horrible, foolish fashion.
But we had a timetable.
Leaving some troops behind. Hey, I didn't want to go in. But once you go in, you got to get out the right way. And Obama just took everybody out, and it was like a shock to the system. And ultimately, ISIS developed, and now we have them in 26 to 28 countries. It's a disaster.
But if he had the timetable was arranged by Bush for the leaving.
Well,
right?
You know what, Larry?
Was.
I'll tell you what. Let's look to the future. It's been a catastrophe. The Middle East for this country has been a total catastrophe.
For both administrations, right?
Not only in terms of the money, but much more importantly, the lives, the tremendous number of lives that have been taken. So if I get elected, we'll get it straightened out.
And you've criticized both Republican and Democratic administrations, right?
Yeah, look, It's a war we shouldn't have been in, and number one, and it's a war that when we got out the wrong way. That was Obama.
Concerning last night, Matt Lauer is being criticized for his performance on social media by many of his peers. How do you think he did?
I thought he was very professional. I thought he was strong, tough. I thought he was smart. I thought his presentation was excellent. I thought he was very professional.
Do you dislike Hillary, or What do you? I know your political
No,
feelings about
I
it.
don't
What are your
dislike
thoughts about it?
people. What I want to do is I want to make America great again, and she'll never be able to do it. She'll never be able to do it. She doesn't have what it takes. And all you have to do is take a look at all of the wrong decisions she's made over the years, but she does not have what it takes.
When you say she's not presidential, what does that mean?
This doesn't feel presidential to me, and it just doesn't have. Look, you know what? The bottom line is, Larry, she doesn't have what it takes. She doesn't have what it's going to take to make America great again. It's very simple.
The race has gotten rough, but you personally don't dislike her.
No, it's not about liking or disliking. I mean, I wish she did a phenomenal job, and we wouldn't have all these problems. I wouldn't be running. I'd be, having dinner with you someplace maybe. But honestly, I wish she did a phenomenal job, and I wish Obama did a phenomenal job, but he's done a terrible job. I just read where $1.7 billion is now in the form of cash, like the $400 million. Now it's $1.7 billion they gave in the form of cash. Who ever heard of things like this?
How are you approaching the debate? Are you working hard on it? Are you using a proxy for her?
Well, this was a little bit of a preparation last night, but the debate was very interesting. I think it was good prep. There's no question about it.
Are you looking forward to debating her one-on-one?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing in life is easy. It's not going to be easy, but it's something that I do look forward to, absolutely.
Chris Wallace of Fox News is going to moderate the final debate. He says he doesn't believe it's his job to be the truth squad, that it's up to the candidates to catch each other. Do you think the moderator should have facts at hand and correct the guest?
Well, I don't know. I can tell you Chris Wallace is a professional. He's very, very good at what he does, and I can understand him saying that. But yeah, I think that the candidates should police themselves.
In a recent interview with Bill O'Reilly, you said you'd release your tax returns if Hillary released hers. What does one, or her emails? What does one have to do with the other? Why don't you just release them and then say
33,000 emails? I say get those emails back. I'll release. Now I'm going to release my tax returns when I'm finished with the audit. So
why does the audit have that? It just confuses me. All you have to do is release the first 3 pages, which is not part of the audit. It just states income, what taxes you pay.
Everybody says you should not release. And even most of the experts, if you watch television or if you read the papers, they'll say that, you shouldn't release from a standpoint. You get your audit finished first. But I'm going to do that. I've told people that. I've given tremendous financial information. So we'll see what happens. But no, that is... not even. It's very few people bring it up. I mean, you're bringing it up. I hear it very little. I don't think people care. Maybe some reporters care, but other than that, very few people care. I've given 100 pages of financial details already to the FEC, which really has great detail. You don't learn much from a tax return.
Have they published them?
Yeah, they're published.
Okay.
They've been out for months.
The 15th anniversary of 9/11 is this weekend. If you were president, would you sign legislation allowing families of 9/11 victims to sue the Saudi government in U.S. courts?
Well, I'd look at that very strongly. I would take a very good, hard look at that. I've been reading about it. I've been hearing about it. I'll take a good look at it, Larry.
Putin recently said that the hacking of the Democratic National Committee's emails was a public service. You agree?
I don't have any opinion on it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know who hacked. I'm not sure who. I mean, you tell me who hacked, who did the hacking, but I have absolutely no opinion on that. I don't know. I haven't heard that statement.
U.S. intelligence and law enforcement agencies reportedly are investigating whether Russia launched a covert operation to disrupt the 2016 election. What do you make of that?
I don't know. I've been hearing about it. I've been reading about it. I think it's probably unlikely. I think maybe the Democrats are putting that out. Who knows? But I think that it's pretty unlikely. But who knows? I hope that if they are doing something, I hope that somebody's going to be able to find out so they can end it, because that would not be appropriate at all.
You fear a rigged election. Do you still? You said that before. You still fear that?
Well, I just want to make sure that the election is 100% fair, that the voting is 100% fair. I mean, you've been reading about this for a long time, whether it's this election, you know, talking about past elections. And you've been reading about it, Larry, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. We'll see what it is, but I hope it's going to be a very fair election. I don't know that it will be. I hope it's going to be. I hope that every vote cast will be 100% vote.
Let's get something clear, because I know you a long time, on this immigration issue. What are your feelings about Mexican immigrants? What in your gut, Donald, what do you feel about this? Donald, are you there? I don't know what happened there. We did not lose the connection, so something happened, but such is life in the big leagues. We'll be right back with more of Politicking with Larry King. Don't go away.